I'm going to be showing you how to do phone auth with Firebase and Expo. We're going to go through a quick demo, and once we get done with the demo, okay, and as you can see, we got past the verification. That took a really long time. We have the confirmation code, and we have welcome sign. And so now we are in our app. That's a quick demo. Obviously, it doesn't look very good, but everything is working, and the phone auth works with Firebase. So now let's get straight into the tutorial. So the first thing we're going to do is open up our terminal, and we're going to do create expo app to create our expo app. Let's see here. Let's copy and paste this, create expo app, and we're going to call it phone video, and we're going to do the T. We're going to do the T tabs. We're going to do the template called tabs, which is the template tab, and then tabs right here. Okay, now we are going to cd into our phone/video folder and open up our code editor. And then we're going to open up a terminal, and what we can do is run npx run iOS and get our simulator going, but before that, just to save time, we're going to be going straight into installing the dependencies. We have React Native Firebase app, the Auth, and the expo-build-properties, which are all necessary for incorporating Firebase. Okay, and once those are installed, we also have to change our plugins array. So basically, this will edit the native code. So when we run npx expo prebuild and it generates the iOS folder, it knows that we have native modules that will change the iOS code. And so this is just kind of like what we need for Firebase. We basically add the app, the auth, and then the expo build prize, we add this use framework iOS, use framework static. And this is a duplicate right here, so we can actually get rid of that one. Perfect. And now this will not work, but we would run npx run iOS, and we're going to generate the iOS button identifier. And yeah, see, we have a problem because we need our Google services file, and so we're going to grab that from Firebase. So now we're going to be setting up Firebase. So we're going to go to firebase.com, go to console, and we're going to create a project. We're going to say, please like video, exclamation point. And then we are going to disable the analytics. We're going to hit continue. And now we are going to, I guess we'll set up our authentication first. So first thing we're going to do is go to authentication, get started. And we are not going to be using Google, but we're going to set up Google first, specifically because we want to get the reverse client ID. That's sometimes necessary, and necessary maybe because we are using Google Android. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, we're going to set up that. We're going to add a new provider. We're going to add the phone auth, and we're also going to add a phone number for testing, because sometimes we have an issue where it sends too many codes and then it blocks us out. Let me see the format for this. Okay, so +1, the one I use, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So then we can use that as our test number. And we're going to save it. Perfect. Okay, so now we're going to go to our project overview. First, we'll add, I guess, the Android app, and we're going to get the Android package name, which is just basically going to be the iOS. It's going to be the iOS one. Same, but we're going to get rid of the dash and Okay, now we are going to get this debug signing certificate, which I believe is necessary, yeah, for phone number support in auth. So what we're going to do, I know you can get it during using EAS build credentials, but kind of the quicker way to do it is I found this Stack Overflow where I got this developer, and so we're going to go to this GitHub thing where basically we use this command, and this command is going to let us generate our sh1 debug from our debug.keystore file. So let me see. First, we're just going to paste this in because we have to modify it. So right now, it goes to the root directory and then the debug.keystore. So right now we're in the phone-video, and so we'll want to go into the Android folder, which we haven't made yet. So actually, okay, let's exit out of this. And let's do npx expo prebuild. and I believe this will, yes, okay, perfect. See, that's the package name. It's the bundle identifier for the iOS, except without the dash. And as you can see, we downloaded our Android folder. So now that we have our Android, we have our app, and then this is where the debug.keystore is. So we have to do, we have to change this file path. So it's Android, we're gonna go into our Android folder, we're gonna go into our app, and then we're gonna go into our debug.keystore. So then we can copy and paste this line. I just did cut actually, so not copy paste. And then boom, we have our bundle identifier. And so here is the SHA1 key. Perfect. So we're going to grab that. We can get rid of there, throw that in there, and register app. Perfect. We'll download the Google services.json. We'll hit next, next, continue to console. Now we're going to create an iOS app as well. And so let me see. Nope. We're going to get our bundle identifier from here. The iOS. Bada boom, bada bing. App Store ID. Okay, register app. We'll download the Google Services info.plist file. Okay, so now I believe everything is set up there. So now we're going to go to our Finder, go to our downloads, where we just download those two folders, throw those into the root directory. Now we're going to want to add those also, so then our application knows where those files are located at. So we're going to add the Google Services file, the plist, and then we're also going to add the Android. So we're going to add a comma, and then Google Services file. Perfect. .json. So now those are, for some reason, let's overwrite. Okay, perfect. Okay, now I believe if we run npx run iOS, okay, we got this error. So we're going to run pre-build, and then just for the iOS folder and rebuild it. And then we run npx run iOS because we changed the app.json file, and the app.json changes the iOS and the Android folders with the correct dependencies. So that's why it wasn't working. Okay, it looks like we got this error, and I believe it's just because we already have the simulator open. So we're just going to exit out of there and then npx expo run iOS again. Okay, great. We have our simulator up and running. Everything should be working. So now we are going to get into the actual code of the phone auth. So we're going to go to React Native Firebase. We went to the social auth tab. We already did the getting started, but if you haven't done the getting started already, that's basically what we did earlier in the video where we changed the app.json. But we're going to scroll down. We're going to go to our social auth, or not social auth. We're going to go to authentication, which is somewhere right here. And we're going to go to phone auth, and where are we going to go? We're going to go straight to Expo Setup. We already did this where we added the plugins, the Firebase app and Firebase Auth, so we can skip that part. We can go to sign in, and basically they give us an example of a sign in application of what it looks like. And so what we're going to do is basically copy this whole thing. Should we just, we'll just copy that first, and then we'll paste it in. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our app. We'll delete these. These are for the web. We're going to create a new one just to make it nice and clean. We're going to call it index.tsx, and it's going to be called we're going to create a new React Native component. We're going to go to the layout and first add it just so we don't forget. And it's going to be called, instead of tabs, it's index. So save that. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. We have to save this. Okay, there we go. Now it's working. Let's change this to a safe area view. I always like adding that. So then, as you can see, the index pops down. And so now what we're going to do is do some magic called copy paste. Boom, look at all that code we just wrote. Okay, now we just got to fix it. So we got to import. We're missing a couple of these imports, so let's get those in. Yeah, like that. That looks good from React Native. Safe area view, text input. Okay, let's text input and button. So we don't want to have double imports. Okay, perfect. So now everything is set up there. Now, I don't think it's correct yet. Let's see here. Yeah, we're missing a colon for the index. So something like that, I believe. Looks good. So right now we should be returning, if not confirmed, then we have a button called sign in. I'm going to change the button to a touchable opacity. I honestly don't really like the buttons. You have a little bit more control with these as well. So text, phone number, sign in, touchable opacity. Perfect. We can get rid of this title. And then it should be showing up, but let's wrap this in a safe area view. Okay, we're gonna remove these phone function phone sign in right here. There we go. Okay, so we have, this is our, technically our button, the touchable opacity with the text. So once we click that, it will sign in with phone number, which is this function right here, and we'll call auth sign in with phone number, and we're going to change this phone number to the test phone number that we created in our Firebase earlier. Perfect. And then once we do that, we'll set the confirmation, and once we set the confirmation, we will then route to this to confirm the code, and then after that, we are technically logged in after we confirm the code. But we are going to want to add the on-off state change so that correctly works out. So what we're going to do is scroll down. We already copied all this. So now we have the unsuccessful sign in. We go to on-off state change. And so now we're just going to be copy and pasting this as well. And we're going to have some duplicate code. So we're going to have to be a little bit careful. But we will be able to get it working. So let's add this code first. So we have our on-ice state change. I don't really like the formatting of this. I think it's something like that. That looks good. Okay, we already have two on-ice state changes right here and right here. So we're going to delete this one and sign it with phone number. Okay, that looks good. And we have two use effects if you saw the duplicate there. Okay, we don't need those. And now we're going to have our our different returns. And this will determine which screen we are inside of. Basically, if the user is not logged in, then we want them to show this login screen, which will basically be all this right here, because this is the non-login screen. So we're going to copy and paste all these two return statements and the if statement, actually. So we have this if statement, return statement. And we are going to throw those inside the non-logged in state, which is right here. And we're going to remove this right here. So we don't have a user and we have not confirmed. So we're inside this. Once we have confirmed the text message, which is the next screen, or once this is set, then we'll jump to this one, and then they'll confirm the 6-digit code. And if they confirm the 6-digit code correctly, then we'll sign in and we'll return user.email. So that's kind of like the flow of that, if that makes sense. So we're going to save that. And now we are going to test it out. And we're going to probably run into this bug that I found earlier. Oh, well, this is the first bug. Once this is finished, we'll skip to when it's done. Okay, there's only two. So I got this not found unmatched route, which is quite unfortunate. And it's at the route Firebase auth link, and I ran into a lot of trouble dealing with this. Or not too much trouble, but it seems like other people are having this error as well, where it automatically goes to this Firebase route that doesn't exist. So I found this GitHub link, and I'll link this plus the previous Stack Overflow in the description down below. But basically, this person right here, I used his code, and what it's doing is basically getting the path name, and then if it has the path name, this Firebase auth /link, which it's at right now, then we'll redirect the router back to the original path, and that should fix the issue, or it will fix the issue, and if not, we'll figure it out. So we're going to copy paste those in. We are going to import the use path name and use router, both from expo router. And then we have another use effect. Let's, yeah. So now we save that, and I believe that will get us going. So my greatest nemesis, perfect. And so now I believe we made it to the next screen, but we don't have a safe area view. And so we are on this screen right here. And so we add a safe area view, and it is a phone number sign-in. That is not, oh, okay, so we saved it. Okay, great. Now we are at the confirm code. And I also had this issue earlier. So basically this text input is invisible, but it's right up here. This is the classic coders fix to that. You do a style. So I figured out the problem. It's border width is the issue. Boom. Now we have our text input that is now colored red, so we can see it. Okay, so the confirmation code was 123456, and we can confirm code, and bada boom, bada bing. So there we have it, safe area view, and we have our phone auth set up. The one thing we do want to add is a touchable opacity, and then on a sign out. So now we can sign out, and that is our Firebase Auth tutorial. So thanks for watching. Leave a comment if you have any questions.